Zoom link. Anyone would like to join, of any of the kids would like to join, any parents? So we had few. There are two. Well, of course, two of my kids were there, and two other kids came up, and few more will come. And so it was hybrid. Some of the students, the kids, they were there with me in person, and there were some who were there online as well. And we started with a lot of stories from Mahabharata, and we will see how it goes in the future, because we are planning to start the overview of Bhagavad Gita, because kids, they don't have a lot of, well, I think these days none of us have the patience, but kids, they need a lot more stories rather than the philosophy. So we are trying to integrate both together. So feel free, either you would like to join those sessions, or you would like to pass on to anyone. The same link and the poster, I think I have shared there in the WhatsApp group. If you need it, let me know. I will be happy sharing it. And Mataji.
Yeah, probably. What is the age group, youngest age group that is in your children's
Oh,
program?
Mataji, in the past, I had someone who was 5 or 5.5 years old. Ah,
Yeah,
yeah, so 5 years old could join as well. And it depends sometimes. It depends, because there are different kids. They have different personality. But
yeah.
5 years old, 5 or 5.5 years old, I remember he joined, and he was there. I think until I left, he was there for like 5 years with me, and great at the end. And I appreciated his honesty. That after a few sessions, he said, "No, I don't understand who is Krishna. What is Krishna?" And then these kind of questions, I think only kids can ask, because we have our preconceived ideas. We might feel a bit reluctant. And that gave us the opportunity to discuss more about Krishna. And because obviously, if he had the questions, many others had it. But no, at the end, he said, I would like to do the kirtan. So kirtan, we did a bit of kirtan as well there in the beginning and sometime in the end, and a lot of more stories. So 5 years old, I think will be doable. Another neighbor's kids, I think he might be here, and he is a similar age, 5, 6 years old. So from that on to, like, Kana was here with us, and Kana was a teenager. Now Kana is a young professional. So Kana led many sessions also. This is what we usually do, because a lot of parents, they would like their kids to be have these kind of leadership qualities. So
Mm.
spiritual is one side, but they would like their kids to be more vocal. So this is another request came from a friend who said, "Well, could you please have my daughter in there?" And the spirituality is okay, but the whole idea is that if she could speak a bit more. I thought, okay,
Mm.
we can definitely work on that. So different people join for different intentions, different purposes. But anything above 5 should do, Mataji.
Because my nephew's son is about 5.5, and
Okay.
he likes kirtan a lot. So
Oh,
I
right.
yes, yes. But I don't think they would have. They do say Hare Krishna and other things. But
Yeah,
I may pass on the details to the parents to see if
please.
they're interested in joining your session. Is it on Sunday 5 o'clock? Isn't it? Yes.
Sunday 5 o'clock. Yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I may pass on my details. Your details.
That would be great, Mataji. And
Okay.
anyone and from anywhere. I one of the Mataji whose kids, twins, boy and daughter. They connected to with us for 3 years, I think. And I really feel sorry I couldn't serve her well, because when I left, she wanted me to continue, but the time was, and the day was Sunday, and Sunday was working. I couldn't do it. But God connected her to one of my other god brother, and I think that didn't go that well. So I need to. I've yet to contact Mataji, so Mataji could bring, if the kids would have grown a bit now, but they were very optimistic as well. I would say, and very energetic. Kids are most of the time. So yes, more the merrier. Whoever
Yes,
could join.
I will when I meet them, I will give them your details. They're very much going into the kirtan. That's what they love best.
Right, that's a great thing to have, Mataji, that kids they enjoy the kirtans, and then that's the reason we started kirtans as well. And this boy I was saying initially, he was very quiet, but when he heard a few sessions, others doing the kirtan, then he himself, because he was the youngest one, and he himself came forward and he said, "No, I would like to do the kirtan." And then
Mm.
Kana prepared one of the presentations. And then he said, I would like to do the similar presentation. But because he was so young, he couldn't do it. So his father was in touch with me. And then I gave the slides, which I think maybe Khan prepared. And I said, well, these are the slides, and then he can run it through. And he did it. So different kids, they really love it. The Kirtan, the stories, presenting and discussing things. So yes, yeah, it will be great if any of the kids will able to get the benefit. And
Correct,
a lot
correct.
of adults also get benefit because of their kids.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
So
Correct.
I have met I have my god brother. He one of the god brothers in Muscat in Mathura Desh. He and his wife Mataji, they both joined the Parampara, the Hare Krishna movement because of the kid. And then there are many other examples, but they all are, all three of them are great devotees at the moment. But the reason they joined was because of the son, and there are many others like that who like to. So that's why kids sessions are so important. But they are very delicate as well because the kids are very honest and direct. So great. And Hare Krishna Bhagavati Mataji, thank you so much for your association as well. We were just saying that we have started kids sessions from last week's Sundays, 5 to 6, because it's a bit winter here now. And then, of course, later we move it to 6 to 7 sometimes in summer, but 5 to 6 now. So feel free to pass on the information to any family who would like to join. And there will be a lot of stories and a bit of overview of the background of Bhagavad Gita to start with. So even the adults could get benefit if the time suits, but mainly for the kids. And it's hybrid. I live in Sutton in London, so anyone is welcome to join. It's the same link. So if anyone would like to join, feel free to do that. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mother. Hare Krishna. Right. So nectar of instruction. And hopefully at the end we will have few minutes and we will discuss today's Ekadashi. Or maybe it's worth mentioning Ekadashi now because this Ekadashi, today's Ekadashi, right, well, before we do that, let's have a Mangalacharan. So Srila Prabhupada's hard work, inspiration for all of us. And if you do the Mangalacharan, take the blessings of the Lordship, Guru and Parampara, and then we shall resume back. Om. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवै नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील गुरुदेव महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome everyone in today's session, which is a Nectar of Instruction. But today, 15th of November 2025, is a great day for Ekadashi. Not only that today is Ekadashi, but anyone who would like to start fasting on Ekadashis, today is the day when we should. Of course, we could start any other Ekadashis. Most of the time, people, when they take the vrata austerity, that from today we are going to start Ekadashis, or from coming Ekadashi we will start performing Ekadashis, which happens twice in a month and 24 Ekadashis in the year, until unless we get the Adhik Mas, where there are two extras. But today is the best day to start it. The reason being that today's Ekadashi is called Utpanna Ekadashi. Hare Krishna, Vinash Prabhuji, welcome. Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu. And we are discussing, before we get into Nectar of Instruction, Hare Krishna. We are discussing today's significance, Hare Om, significance of today's Ekadashi, which is Utpanna Ekadashi. The word itself, Utpanna. उत्पन्न हिंदी में उत्पन्न का मतलब है उत्पन्न होना, इमर्ज होना, बर्थ होना. So today's Utpanna Ekadashi is the birthday of Ekadashi Mata. Ekadashi, every Ekadashi is a special, every Ekadashi has its unique name, every Ekadashi has its significance and a story behind it. And most of the time, the story starts when Yudhishthir Maharaj, a great devotee, asked a question to Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna will say, okay, for this, you could do this vrata. Most of the Ekadashis stories start like that. One of the Pandavas, but mainly Yudhishthir, asked this question. So today also, the story goes that if we could, of course, we know about Nirjala Ekadashi, that if somebody like Bhima who could not do the fasting, if one Ekadashi, which gives you the benefit of all the Ekadashis, then that's called. There are many names, but Nirjala Ekadashi is the most famous. Bhim Ekadashi also we call it. Sometimes Pandav Ekadashi we call it. But Nirjala Ekadashi. Of course, if all of the Ekadashis we could do Nirjala, that's even better. And if we could perform all Ekadashis, which we should, but if for some reason we can't, at least we should focus on one day of the year on Nirjala Ekadashi. But today's Ekadashi is special because the Ekadashi Mata was born today. On this Ekadashi, which Ekadashi is called Utpanna Ekadashi. This Ekadashi always comes the very first Ekadashi after Kartik. So Chomasas finish, and of course Kartik Purnima Ekadashi is also there, which is the last Ekadashi during Kartik, at the end of the Kartik. And this is the next month started, and this is Krishna Paksha. Well, we have Shukla and Krishna Paksha, moon waning and moon waxing. हम अगर देखें तो क्योंकि हम लूनर कैलेंडर मून को फॉलो करते हैं रादर देन सनशाइन, जो जॉर्जियन कैलेंडर होता है, इसके अंदर मून 15 डेज के लिए वेन होगा और वैक्स होगा. तो मून बढ़ेगा, और जब बढ़ेगा तो पूर्णिमा आएगी, और जब वो धीरे धीरे घटेगा तो फिर अमावस्या आएगी। तो पूर्णिमा और अमावस्या के बीच में 14-15 डेज का फर्क होता है। और इसके बीच में ही, इन दिन पर ही, जो 11th डे, 15 डेज हुए, यूजली 14 डे रहता है क्योंकि 15 डे हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं पूर्णिमा या अमावस्या। सो अगर हम काउंटिंग करें 1 to 15, सो 11th डे संस्कृत एकादशी, एक दशी, दशी इज 10, एकादशी 10 + 1, 11th डे इज एकादशी। So today's Ekadashi, very briefly, the story goes, and most of the stories are similar, but one of the demon called Maru, and he was so strong, so powerful that even the demigods almost lost. So Indra lost his Indravati, his house, his home, his palace, and he ran away to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, "Go to Lord Vishnu." And then Lord Vishnu said that I have promised that I will take care of my devotees, so I will take care of you. Go and fight with him and his army, and I will protect you. And Indra goes. Lord Vishnu was there with him. But during the fight, Lord and Lord Krishna did something similar when he left Mathura and went to Dwarka. And Lord Vishnu did the same thing. He disappeared from there completely. And then he went to a cave. And then the demon found out that Lord Vishnu is there. And when he went there, Lord Vishnu was sleeping. Lord Vishnu was just sleeping. And this is like a pastime, a leela. Then the demon Maru thought that, okay, it's a great opportunity. Lord Vishnu is strong, powerful. I cannot overcome him, but this is the best time to kill him. Let's kill him. So Maru ने भगवान विष्णु के ऊपर अटैक किया। उस समय भगवान विष्णु की, हम योग माया, महामाया कहते हैं, भगवान विष्णु की इंट्रिंसिक, अंदरूनी जो शक्ति है, उसमें से एक माता निकल के बाहर आई, और उन्होंने मरु का वध किया। थोड़ा सा डायलॉग हुआ, उसके बाद वध किया। और जब वध हो गया, तब भगवान उठे। भगवान ने कहा कि आप कौन है माता? और फिर माता ने कहा, मैं आप ही के शरीर से निकली हूँ, मैं आपकी भक्त हूँ। और भगवान बहुत खुश हुए कि आपने वध किया इनका, क्योंकि मैं चाहता था कि इनका कोई वध करे ताकि मेरे भक्तों को आराम मिले। अभी इसमें प्रश्न ये हो सकता है कि क्यों भगवान लॉर्ड विष्णु हिमसेल्फ डिडंट किल मरु? Similar question a lot of time been asked in Bhagavad Gita. Why Lord Krishna didn't kill others? He could have easily killed everyone. Why so many deaths happen? Or why he let Arjuna to be the winner? So if you ask most of the people, then 9 out of 10 who would know a little bit of Mahabharata will say, who was the best warrior? Arjun, right? But we know very well, if we read Bhagavatam, that Arjun was defeated by the wooden sticks from the villagers when Lord Krishna was in him. And he said the same thing. He admitted it when he went to Yudhishthir. तो सेम अर्जुन जो भगवान कृष्ण के साथ में ना होने की वजह से, जो विलेजर्स होते हैं जो सिर्फ लाठी से लड़ते हैं, उनसे भी हार गए थे। और फिर युधिष्ठिर महाराज को वापस जाके उन्होंने यही कहा कि भगवान कृष्ण ने तो मुझे ठग लिया। मुझे लगता था कि मैंने महाभारत का युद्ध लड़ा, लेकिन मैं वही अर्जुन, ये मेरा वही गांधी, और वही सारे जो मैंने द्रोणाचार्य जी से सीखा, सब ज्ञान मेरे पास है, लेकिन सिर्फ भगवान कृष्ण मेरे साथ नहीं है। तो मैं इन गांव के लोगों को भी नहीं हरा पाया, और उन्होंने मुझको पराजित कर दिया। ये भागवतम के अंदर अर्जुन युधिष्ठिर जी को कहते हैं। उसी तरीके से यहाँ पे दानव को भगवान विष्णु खुद भी मार सकते थे, लेकिन वो अपनी भक्त को चाहते थे कि वो, उनका नाम हो, उनको सर्विस मिले। इस वजह से काफी ऐसे एपिसोड्स हैं जिसमें हम खुद ना करके भगवान खुद ना करके अपने भक्तों के द्वारा कराते हैं. And sometimes we might think, this doesn't make sense. But think of ourselves if we are parents and I have two kids. If I need to do something, I might let my son do it. And if somebody will glorify me, of course, because I have false pride, I will get very happy. But I might get even more happier if somebody will glorify my son. So if there is an opportunity to do the service, and if I know my son can do it, or daughter, but my son is the elder one, so hence I'm taking his example. But if my kids can take it, the parents will always give kids the opportunity to serve so they get the blessings from others, right? And this is what Lord does as well. So Lord gave, and of course, for all of us, if we see, if that day, on today's day, Utpanna Ekadashi, if Ekadashi Mata wouldn't have come out of Lord Krishna's body, then we wouldn't be celebrating Ekadashis twice in the month every year, every month, ongoing. So this is the story, and of course, as it goes, that whoever will fast today is going to get a lot and a lot of benefits. Fasting is anyways great. Intermittent fasting has been suggested by even the modern doctors, but spiritual benefit is even more. So we spent like 10-12 minutes on this. So Mura Muru was the name of the demon, and like any other Ekadashi, we should take care what we should eat, what we should not eat. If you can go Nirjala, the topmost, spend the time with the Lord. That's why it's called Upasna, and Up is next, Upvasa, next to the Lord. If you can sit, Upnishad, all those scriptures which helps us to go near to the Lord. So let's take this as a great opportunity. If we don't perform the Ekadashis, and today is a great day to start it. No grains, no pulses, and no wheat, no rice. If you can just take care of these things, that will be great. So again, Ekadashi's water, no water, the best Nirjala. If you want to have water, okay. If you want to have water and juices, okay. If you want to have water, juices, and fruits, okay. And if not, then even during fasting, there are many other things which we eat. Like some people eat sweet potato, so we can have that as well. And there are many variations of what people have it once we open it to the eating. But based on our circumstances, the job we are involved in, and maybe our intensity, or whichever form and shape we should. And if you're not fasting at all, we should definitely not take grains, but at least spend reading and listening to the scriptures. So the whole idea of fasting is that the body spends more time, body, mind, spirit spend more time with the Lord. So with that, let's come back to our nectar of instruction and what we have done it. So this is the very first verse of course, Rupa Goswami ji has given this Shastra to us, which is Updeshamrit, Updesha, instructions, nectar of instructions, NOI. Vachovegam mansaha krodavegam jivavegam udhar upasta. There are two words there. Udhar upasta vegam etan vegan yovishyate dhiraha sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. A sober person, and this could be all of us, a devotee should be like this. This is what the first instruction is. The sober person who could tolerate, there are six things. First, urge to speak. So we should be careful what we speak and what we should not speak. The mind's demands, what we desire. Mind would like to do, oh, हिंदी में हम कहते हैं मन कर रहा था तो हमने ऐसा किया. भाई क्यों किया आपने? मन किया. Most of the time when we say man, mind, desired, that means our intellectual, our buddhi didn't play much part in it. Because if we have a reason, we justify. When we can't justify it, most of the time we say man ki. And this is positive and negative. Somebody will say, why did you go to the temple? Well, भगवान के दर्शन करने का मन था. Also, the devotees association was desired by mind. And it could be, but of course, then we have the intellect trained in such a way that now mind desires the positive, constructive mode of goodness, desires are there. The action of anger, we saw the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Anger is one of the biggest thing, and we should get rid of that. The urges of tongue, what we again speak, what we taste, belly, what we eat, genitals. This is where the one of the four rules, the laws, the regulations in the movement, and most of the spirituality will focus on that. Is qualified to make all disciples. So this could be a Siksha Guru, this could be a Diksha Guru, this could be any devotee. This is what we are aiming to control the austerity. We know Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 limbs. It starts with Yam, Niyam. So what we should do, what we should not do. So again, the same thing in the material world, whether we are in the office, a school, whichever organization we are part of, whichever country we are part of. अगर हम यूएई के अंदर हैं, हम किस स्ट्रीट किस हाईवे पे हैं, हमें उसके वहाँ के लॉज, कंट्री के लॉज, स्टेट के लॉज, एमिरेट्स के लॉज वो फॉलो करने होंगे. अगर हम यूके में आए तो हमारे लॉस थोड़े से डिफरेंट हो जाएंगे. अगर हम यूरोप में जाएं, जस्ट लाइक इन यूएई, वी ड्राइव ऑन द अदर साइड. Now, which is the, so some people say, oh, they drive on the wrong side. Well, this is their side. We can't say right or wrong side. For us, their side is wrong. For them, our side is wrong. But what we are stating is the fact that wherever we are in Rome, do as Romans do. So, which means that we have to follow the rules and regulations, right? So, for spirituality, these are the yam niyam. So, we need to tolerate speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. And so this is what we have done. हम last session में ये cover कर चुके हैं कि sinful cycle से हमें कैसे बाहर निकलना है. There are these 4 things. Materialistic desires जो है हमारी धीरे धीरे कम होंगी. उसके बाद हमारे जो सेंसेस हैं वो अनकंट्रोल हैं. जो डिजायर्स आती हैं उसको फुलफिल करने के लिए हमारे सेंसेस भागते हैं, उनको हम कंट्रोल कर पाएंगे. और ये सब कंट्रोल हो पाएगा जब हमारा माइंड कंट्रोल में हो पाएगा. और पीसफुल माइंड इज, सो इट सेज, the trained mind is a great servant. An untrained mind is very, very bad master. So again, trained mind is a great servant. An untrained mind is a terrible teacher, terrible master. So our mind, if it's trained, it will work where how we would like it to work, like our servant. Do this, do that, and mind will happily do it because it's controlled, it's peaceful. Untrained mind will take us places. How many times हम खाने की बात करते हैं, हम देखने की बात करते हैं, हमें कुछ करना है उसकी बात करते हैं. बच्चे पढ़ाई करना चाहते हैं पर उनका माइंड वीडियो गेम्स में है. कैसे? हम पढ़ाई करना चाहते हैं, हमारा माइंड मे बी क्रिकेट, फुटबॉल, स्पोर्ट्स, बॉलीवुड, हॉलीवुड के अंदर है. कैसे? अगर हम माइंड के ऊपर काम कर पाए. रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स, दीज आर द बॉडली अर्जेस. So to reach there, we have to work through all of them. And this is what we have been discussing, how this is possible. किस तरीके से, किस प्रकार हम ये धीरे 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 धीरे, ऑफ कोर्स जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो एकदम उसके अंदर विकार नहीं आते. अगर आप किसी भी बच्चे से कोई चीज खिलाएं, बच्चे को पसंद नहीं आएगा तो बच्चा वहीं पे बोल देता है, नहीं हमें पसंद नहीं. I remember here in London, we went to a friend and my daughter Shivani was very young. And they said they gave something to eat and they asked her, do you like her? And she outburst. She said, no, it's very bad. The taste is very bad. I don't like it. And everybody started laughing. But this honesty has been given to all of us by Lord. What we do, we condition ourselves. हमको भगवान सत्य चित्त आनंद के रूप में ही भेजते हैं, उसके ऊपर हम मटेरियल कंडीशनिंग डालना शुरू कर देते हैं. There's a great TED talk with the whole series is there that how schools are killing the creativity. हमने एक स्टीरियोटाइप बनाया है और हम बच्चों को वैसा ही बनने को कहते हैं. बच्चों की जो क्रिएटिविटी है हम उसको रोकते हैं, क्योंकि हम वहां जाके बच्चों को कहते हैं आपको ये करना है, डॉक्टर, मेडिकल, सीए, whatever is going on in the market, this is what kids should be doing. And this is what we do in the spirituality as well. But of course, honesty, integrity, truthfulness, that's the first part of it. So these are some of the ways we could do it, from superficial to real atonement. Atonement, the word, हम अगर कोई काम करते हैं, हमको थोड़ा सा दुख होता है और फिर हम प्रायश्चित करना चाहते हैं. सो अटोनमेंट इज प्रायश्चित. लेकिन कई बार प्रायश्चित जो हमारा होता है वो झूठा होता है, सिर्फ सामने वाले को दिखाने के लिए होता है, एंड टू अ ग्रेटर एक्सटेंट फॉर आवर ओन माइंड एज वेल. हम प्रायश्चित अगर कोई और नहीं भी देख रहा तो सिर्फ अपने मन को बहलाने के लिए प्रायश्चित कर रहे हैं. पर ट्रू, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी सी, वी डू द सेम थिंग अगेन, सेम मिस्टेक अगेन. So a lot of time, I remember my son used to say sorry. I said, well, that's okay. I'm great. You felt sorry, but the real sorry will be when you don't repeat the same mistake again, right? So learn the lesson and don't repeat it. Of course, we all make new mistakes, but at least, and consciously, unconsciously, while we are driving, we might make the same mistake again, but at least we try to be more conscious. So Srila Prabhupada ji always said, before we become Krishna conscious, we need to be conscious. So consciousness and awareness is the main part. And superficial atonement, external rituals, temporary cleansing. So this is what a lot of people do. Most of us, when we go and we say that we are going to the temple, we are going to do this yagya and purification. We are going to Haridwar to take a dip, which is good. We should not avoid it, but we should understand even the powerful attributes of all these practices, why we are doing it, what we are doing. If we understand that, that will help us to purify. अगर हम ये समझ के कोई कार्य करें कि ये रिचुअल, ये रीति रिवाज क्यों बना है, तो शायद हमारी प्यूरिफिकेशन और अच्छे से हो पाए. और तपस्या, this is what the austerity is, celibacy, sense control, charity. So all three different types of them, internal and external. एसोसिएशन, कैसे हम तपस्या कर पाएंगे अगर पूरी फैमिली में हम ही हैं जिसको एकादशी का फास्ट रखना है, बाकी सब खा पी रहे हैं, हमारे लिए मुश्किल होगा. हाउ अबाउट एज अ फैमिली वी डू इट. सो आई रिमेंबर माय मदर इन लॉ ऑलवेज सेड इट, and she joins sometimes to shower her blessing. She's not here today, but she said it that to my wife that, oh, you started so now she also does a Ekadashi, but many years back, I think, whenever that was, she said that, oh, even I haven't started Ekadashi fasting and you have started, to my wife. And then when she found out later that kids also do it, then she said, well, they are too young. Why do they need to fast? Right? But according to the Shastras, only kids under 5 years old. And there's a great story in Bhagavatam that how Vidura, even though he was Dharmaraj, he was Yamraj, Yamraj was cursed to become Vidura, to take a human birth and appear as a Dasi Putra, because as a Dharmayaj, he punished someone who was under the age of 5 and who did something wrong, and he was a sage. When he sage went back and he said, what did I do? Yamraj said, this is what you do. He said, well, but I was under 5. So under 5, we could say even though kids are much smarter these days, very young age, but at least under 5, according to the Shastra, we can still forgive. But over 5, kids could do austerity, and a small austerity, and it doesn't matter. In the family, the whole point is association. If everyone is, if my wife, and the mothers usually cook, if the food is cooked in the kitchen, and that's sattvic, whether that's Ekadashi fasting meal or that's a normal meal, kids most of the time they don't even realize. Slowly, gradually, they become a devotee, and then they start understanding, they accepting, and then of course a bit of austerity comes in, or this is, we don't want to eat this. Why? Because today is Ekadashi. And then gradually the significance of we cannot have these things today gives more importance. अगर कहते हैं कि कोई फैमिली में अगर दूर चला जाए कुछ दिनों के लिए, तो उसका इम्पोर्टेंस और बढ़ जाता है। अगर कोई साथ में ही है तो we usually take the person for granted. And this is what the association does. So if association or everyone around us, if you go to the temple, we say everyone is doing Ekadashi, well, we will not find it hard. But of course, if we are the only one, no one else around us doing it, then we will find out. So always seek the association. And even if we can't go to the temple physically, at least speak to the devotees, attend the sessions, listen to the, because then also we know, oh, physically I cannot be associated, but at least mentally I have associated. So I spoke to Mataji yesterday, and we are going to serve together, hopefully. Mataji, Prabhuji, and another Mataji. And then I remember that Mataji served in manna after Srila Prabhupadaji's class. And then why and how? Because every morning I connect to Manner on YouTube Live. So wow, we can do it wherever we are in the world. Such a great blessing it is. The association of Bhaktivedanta Manor or whichever temple we are associated with these days, they all are available online and we could always be associated with them. Like today's class, we did it. And then slowly, when we have this association, we do the tapasya, then we have controlled senses, and controlled speech is the very first thing. Remember the bodily actions, then the mental actions, and then the thoughts. First, we think about it, then we verbally say something, and then we do the actions. And then when we want to control the actions, control the verbal speech, and then control the thoughts. Or if we can easily control the thoughts, that's much better. But that's the mind which is giving those thoughts. But sometimes it's hard to control the mind, but it might be a bit easier to control the physical actions. So that's the real atonement. That atonement is not superficial. But again, as we can see, there are steps, and this happens gradually. So dhire, 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 dhire. Now there are 6 points, and I think we have seen that. So very briefly, real atonement is awakening of Krishna consciousness. This is what our Brahma Jigyasa, Brahma Artho Jigyasa. The curiosity will come and it will purify. Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Satchitanand, I am purified consciousness, and that consciousness is awakening Krishna consciousness. So there are different ways. Like what Buddha said, I'm awake, that I am purified now. So this is what we could do. Parikshit Maharaj is an example of elephant. एक हाथी है, नहाने जाता है, बाहर आता है, अपने आप को गंदा करता है, नहाने का क्या फायदा हुआ? बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से अगर हम दिल्ली का एग्जांपल लें, दिल्ली के अंदर लोग बिजनेस करते हैं, बिजनेस में काफी झूठ बोलते हैं, नॉट एवरीवन, जस्ट एन एग्जांपल। और उसके बाद वो डे ट्रिप करेंगे, संडे को वृंदावन जाएंगे, वहां पे संतों का, बिहारी जी का दर्शन करेंगे, वापस आएंगे मंडे टू फ्राइडे, अगेन उसी बिजनेस के अंदर वही सारे एलिमेंट्स, एंड देन वापस। मैं पर्सनली मिला हूं ऐसे प्रभु जी से, जो कहते हैं कि बिजनेस में तो हम बिना झूठ के चल ही नहीं सकते, हमारा बिजनेस ही ठप हो जाएगा। डेली लैंग्वेज, हमारा बिजनेस ठप हो जाएगा, खत्म हो जाएगा, फिनिश, अगर हम झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे तो। I said, but it's like the customer is the Lord, right? You're earning, your whole family is living because of the Lakshmi the customer is giving. So you're lying to the customer. I said, well, we cannot, there is no other way. This is like modern day Kali Yuga clients. If you will not lie. And he went into detail explaining me that there is no way out from it. I said, what is the solution? He said, I go to Vrindavan, I take Bihariji's darshan, I give some money there, I purify myself, I come back for the next week. And we all had a good laugh. But hopefully, slowly, gradually, we find out that this is a superficial atonement that will not help. Of course, this is good, so should not stop that, but that is not going to affect us deep where the Krishna consciousness awakening is required. So tapasya is required, the austerity is required, a little bit of austerity is required, and then we can see the path of the knowledge. And this happens in different ways. Celibacy, brahmacharya. Now again we said brahmacharya if we are not married. If we are married, we are with our wife and husband. That's also considered as celibacy if we are with our married partners only. Sense control, six senses, mind control, or five senses, six senses if we say mind control. Charity, truthfulness, cleanliness, all this comes into austerity. To spend time cleaning ourselves and our home, the temple, the altar, everything comes in the austerity. Yoga and the association with pure. This yoga is not Hatha yoga, which most of the Western world understands, and even India these days. This is Ashtang yoga, which starts from Yam Niyam. तो हम अगर अष्टांग योगा को देखें तो यम नियम को अगर समझने की कोशिश करें, क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, फिर धीरे 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 अत्यारा प्रयास, फिर हम और एनओआई के अंदर हम ये वर्ड्स भी आएगा और उसको भी हम देखेंगे, उसमें भी अष्टांग योग के ही कुछ और मूल मंत्रों को अच्छे से समझाया है. देन पावर ऑफ एसोसिएशन, control senses, speaking Krishna Katha. Very easy whenever we speak. So, yes, well, recently, couple of days back, I went to Central London to attend a conference, and I got somebody presented me a ghetto. The name of the company was Go Ghetto, I think, and the ghetto was their mascot. तो उन्होंने मुझे एक गैटो गैटो एक लिजर्ड की तरीके की एनिमल होता है. तो उन्होंने बहुत सारे गैटोज रखे हुए हैं छोटे छोटे से खिलौने की तरह, लेगो की तरह. तो उन्होंने एक गैटो मेरे को दिया कि इसके तरीके से आप हमारी कंपनी को याद रखेंगे. तो वो हम लेकर आए और उन्होंने मुझको कहा कि, तो मैंने पूछा ये गैटो नाम क्यों रखा है आपने कंपनी का. उन्होंने कहा गेटो एक एनिमल पसंद आया और इसके बारे में कहा जाता है कि अगर आप अपने पास में गेटो रखें, उसका एक नाम रखें, वो आपको प्रोस्पेरिटी देता है. इसलिए हमारे कंपनी के ओनर ने कंपनी का नाम ही गेटो रख दिया. वेरी नाइस. तो मैं घर पे लेके आया, मैंने बच्चों को कहा कि भाई ये गैटो है और इसका कोई नाम रखना है. तो वो ग्रीन कलर का है, तो वो मैंने सबसे पूछा क्या नाम रखें, अलग अलग नाम दिया. लेकिन कल हमने डिसाइड किया कि हम वो गेटो है भी ग्रीन, तो हम उसका नाम रखेंगे हरी. नाउ हरी बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स being green, but Hari is also the name of the Lord. So whenever I say, and kids were laughing, I say, where is Hari gone? Hari will give me the prosperity. We are taking the name of the Lord. Now, this is what controlling speech is, speaking Krishna Katha. Whichever way we speak, now Dubai is Damodar Desh, Qatar, Kuwait, Krishna Katha Desh, Muscat, Mathura Desh. So we will take the name of the Lord whenever we will count on these. So this is the way everything becomes Krishna consciousness, whichever way we look at it. Now, okay, few minutes left, and now we go each of them individually, one by one. So before I do that, I thought it is a great time to have any discussion point. अगर किसी के मन में कोई रियलाइजेशन हो, कोई प्रश्न हो, कुछ भी ऐसा कहा जो आपको लगा कि इसके बारे में तो और बात कर सकते हैं. हालांकि अभी हमने जो भी इस वर्स के अंदर वाचो वेगम मनसहा क्रोधा वेगम, इसमें हमने तीन चीजें कह दी. हम और तीन चीजें और सेकंड लाइन के अंदर है, तो हम छह को अब अच्छे से डिटेल में देखेंगे. हरे कृष्ण माता जी, प्लीज.
Prabhuji, now with the devotees, we have to be be careful whom we get on with and whom we select to in which group we like,
Yes.
because sometimes sorry, we can't sort of say this devotee is not correct, or I don't like it, but we have to withdraw from certain things that we
True.
not get used to those devotees. Is it?
True. Very true, Mataji. So the way to understand that there could be two different perspectives. One is that we should not, but to understand this point, the scriptures, so we should not discriminate, but the scriptures categorize devotees in three different categories based on how elevated they are spiritually or Krishna consciousness. And then first one we call Kanishta. Kanishta is mm, somebody who has just started, naive, somebody who is very, very new, but a devotee now, full focus on that I would like to be, but full of uncontrolled senses. But a devotee who's practicing, try to do a lot of service, but still a lot of sometimes sins will happen, sometimes offenses will happen, or might not even know proper way of interaction, but now have started the process. That's very first one, Kanishta. Then we have Madhyam, intermediary, who is in the middle. And most of us, and this is one of my teacher at Manna, Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji, who said it, that most of us in ISKCON could be considered as Madhyam Adhikari. So Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and the Uttam Adhikari. Uttam Adhikari are basically who are the initiated gurus. His Holiness. They are Uttam Adhikari because they are fully developed. They have committed one way. So Sutapa Prabhuji of sorry. So Sutapa Prabhuji, before he took the sannyasa of our age, now he is His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. So Keshav Maharaj ji, at our age, he's fully committed. Now there is no way of his going back. Now he has taken complete sannyas, and if you'll see, the service he is doing, and I follow him on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel called Wisdom That Breathes, and he gives a lot of lectures there. And his living is still on temple floor with everyone else. So sometimes people say, no, you are a Swami now, you should have your own room. But which sometimes he gets because of the respect when he travels. But when he comes to the manor, most of the time he's there sleeping on the temple floor with everyone. So, so those are considered as Uttam Adhikari. They know exactly what they're doing. Madhyam, who are a bit more committed, and we should try to associate with these two. Uttam Adhikari and Madhyam Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari, it says, again, it depends where we are. Where we are. If we are Kanishta, then also we should try to be in Madhyam Adhikari or Uttam Adhikari's association. We should be very careful with Kanishta Adhikari's association because they are still developing. Madhyam Adhikari are also developing. A lot of Madhyam Adhikari also fell down. So, but the percentage is less. So maybe 10% of Kanishta Adhikaris are very great. Their progress is evident that very soon they will be Madhyam Adhikari, right? So a practical example, Kanish Adhikari who have just started chanting, if you will have a discussion, maybe for 70% they will discuss worldly affairs, maybe politics, jobs, family matters, and maybe 30% they will discuss Krishna consciousness. Madhyam Adhikari, maybe other way around. 70-80% when you will have the conversation will be based on the Krishna Katha or the kind of service we can do, less on the job. So one of the Prabhujis at Manna, he's a mortgage advisor. So and I seek his blessings for whenever I need to renew my mortgage, being in the devotee congregation. But that's like once in 2 years or 5 years, whenever we need to do the mortgage. Otherwise, whenever we will speak, Like spoke to him yesterday, going to speak him with him again tomorrow. Always the conversation is about Krishna consciousness. What Prabhuji is doing, what I'm doing, how we can serve each other, how we can take each other's, well, I seek his blessings. So it's all on that. So that's what we can say, Kanishth and Madhyam. So Mataji, your point is very valid that yes, we should be careful. And but again, we should always consider ourselves Kanishth, and we should always understand that others are better than us. Because if we will start categorizing others, oh no, 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 that person is Kanishth and that person is Madhyam, so let's avoid that person and go to that person, then we might do the offense, which we don't want to do it. So we should respect everyone like they are better than us. But at the same time, when we seek association, like if I have the opportunity, I can make the choice with whom I should spend more time. Then I know I should go to that person because I know that person will speak about Krishna consciousness, the other person will speak more about politics or anything else. So you're right, Mataji. This is what His Holiness Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj said to Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji, who is a classmate, school childhood classmate of His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Swamiji Maharaj. So Bhakti Rasamrit Swamiji Maharaj is a great devotee. So the very first one, the way we speak, nectar of instruction. And if we have ever heard Bhakti Rasamrit Swamiji Maharaj, how politely he speaks. So I always say, and Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj is the same. Just a smile. He doesn't even need to speak, just his smile, how graceful, how much peace he is at. And at the same time, our Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji is a grast. He got a wife, he got a business, and he got a son, but he's also a great devotee. So when Maharaj Ji, they both were together, and Bhakti Rasamrita Swamiji Maharaj was going away because once you are His Holiness, you travel. And while he was going away, Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji said to Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj that I need his association. I am my Krishna consciousness is because of him. If he will go away, my Krishna consciousness will fall down. Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj said, when you needed association, he gave you association. Now you are a senior devotee. Now you need to put your conviction together. Now you should be in a state where you give the association. So we always have the opportunity. So if I'm there, for example, I went to Manoranjan Prabhuji's place. Chudamani Mataji was there. Chudamani Mataji is the regional coordinator who reports to Maharajji. She been in Krishna consciousness more than what my age is. So when I was there, I was listening to her. I was seeking her association. But then Manoranjan Prabhuji's brother was online and he asked the question. And then he gave some answer. Then he opened up. Anyone else would like to give the answer? Then asked Mataji's permission. Mataji, would you mind if I give the answer to Prabhuji? Right? Then, because for now, Mataji is my senior, I would like to listen to her. But Mataji doesn't want to give the answer. But I have an answer I can give. So first, I'm seeking Mataji's association, but now I'm willing to give my association to Prabhuji's brother. And I seek permission as well before I speak. So some etiquettes, but at the same time, we need to be careful with whom, from whom we need to seek association and to whom we need to give association. So this is, and Anil Prabhuji isn't there today, but Anil Prabhuji recently visited our place. And as long as a spiritual gathering was there in our residence, I was speaking. But once it finished, we did the kirtan, and after that, they started some other kind of conversation. And then I drifted apart. And I was, for next hour, I was quiet. Hardly I said anything because I didn't have, and I of course moved away because I was doing well, I was cleaning up, if I say, the altar. I was spending more time with deities. So great question, Mataji, on that. So sorry, I took more time on that.
Thank
Hare,
you. Appreciate the answer.
Hare
Yes, thank
Krishna.
you. Hare
So,
Krishna.
thank you so much. Association, like the question Mataji said, and the reason I took a bit more time, that is very, very important. And of course, we always say we should take devotees association, but even among devotees, there are some, if we have a choice, we should always be careful and we should always be mindful and conscious that it's better for me to spend more time with these devotees. So, in that respect, we can differentiate, but not to differentiate to disrespect someone. Of course, because they all are Vaishnavas and they all are dear to us and all are respectable to us. So thank you so much for everyone's presence, everyone's association, because you come, I get the time and the energy and the opportunity to serve. And it's beautiful, nectar of instructions. Each verse and we will go in detail. One presentation I have put together, this one. And then there is another presentation I have found from Radhanath, no, I was about to say Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj, but it's our Radhe Shyam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, yes. Radhe Shyam Prabhuji has one presentation I found. So we will do that as well. A great examples are there. So please bear with me and look forward to see you next Saturday again. And we will go detail. Hopefully we will start from this slide and we will go to each urges one by one and how we can control them. And this will help us materially, spiritually, on a daily basis. It will improve our life. So with that, Srila Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhesha. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna. Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank
Dandavat
you so
Pranam.
much.
Hare Krishna, Bhaktaji. Dandavat Pranams. So sorry I took some
Krishna
more.
Prabhuji, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Om. So we will be in touch. Hare